If you are still chasing agents, going on mass amounts of coffee dates, or hoping that your culture is going to recruit for you, this video might make you a little bit uncomfortable. Because as you may or may not know, top brokerages don't chase, top brokerages attract. Using what I'm about to give you in this video, one of my clients in one month recruited 135 million in sales volume. I myself use the exact 4 frameworks, 4 solutions, and 4 steps in every single brokerage that I'm involved in. If you're a realtor looking for a new company, this video is not for you. If you're a brokerage owner who is simply looking to add any agent that has a pulse, this video is not for you either. This video is specifically for individuals and leaders that are looking to bring on top talent, not just for headcount. Before we dig into the 4 action items and the 4 steps, there is a step 0, which is the fact that most team owners, most brokerage owners, they are trying to recruit everybody. And when they try to recruit everybody, in reality, they're actually recruiting nobody. So, what is your value proposition that you have for your team or that you have for your brokerage? Who are you actually trying to attract? Which agent would actually thrive in your ecosystem? That is step 0. Once you have that out, the next 4 steps are going to be a lot easier. Step number 1 is your warm outreach and your database. If your life was on the line and you needed to write a transaction or get somebody in your door, would you go to the cold outside world, or would you go to the area where people already know, like, and trust you? Because the reality is your conversion rates are going to be a lot higher when you lean on the people where you're already providing value to and where they know what you actually do and what you can help them accomplish. If we're doing this from square one together, the first thing that I'm looking at doing is I'm looking at creating a database. Create a database, create a list first and foremost of the individuals that you already know, like, and trust. This might be a list of all the individuals that you're already in business with. I would also create a list of all the people that you've done business with in the past. Because at the end of the day, with the individuals that you're already in business with, you should be, if you're a broker owner or team owner, you should already be pouring into these individuals. You should be providing them so much value already that they're begging to give you referrals. And if you're not getting referrals constantly, if you were to ask an agent in your ecosystem and they don't give you referrals, what that means is you're not doing a good enough job providing value to them. That's the one side of it. The other side of it is you're known in your community. You've done deals in the past. With those warm individuals, you now have a list on some warm outreaches that you can do. And you're probably thinking, what would that even look like? I haven't talked to that person in XYZ time horizon. When I look at those warm outreaches, it's a simple conversation, knowing exactly what their pain points are, and asking them questions if they know of anybody or if they themselves need help due to XYZ conditions that are happening in the market. The second solution or second step that I'd really lean into is your cold outreach. If you don't know the individuals and they're not warm, then they're definitely cold. Now, at the end of the day, we can agree that we are in the absolute best market to recruit within. Agents are struggling. Last year, nearly 90% of agents haven't done a transaction. Our agents out there, and to take it a step further, 40% of agents made a move last year or left the industry. To take it a step further, our agents begging for somebody like you to reach out to them, to provide them an opportunity. Because at the end of the day, when you do cold outreach, you're not salesy, you're not recruiting, you're providing them an opportunity. Now you're thinking, what does that even look like? And the first thing that I would do when it comes out to cold outreach is make a list, create a database. If you don't have one already, I am partnered with the most powerful technology company when it comes to recruitment, which is Corded.io. With Corded, you're able to literally pull lists of individuals that are ready to make moves. That is the first thing I would do when it comes to cold outreach, is to create your database and get that organized and identify with a tool like Corded which individuals are going to be more prone to making moves. Now, once you have the list, what are you going to do with it? And it's very, very simple, and I'll summarize it extremely quickly. You've got the phones. The phones are king. I know right now that my average client is booking an appointment on one out of every other, or maybe one out of 3 phone calls that they make. The second is marketing and emails. I know that for every one email campaign that we send out to our MLS, we should expect at least 2 qualified appointments to respond back to us. That means if your conversion rate is 50-50, you're closing 1 agent from an email campaign, right? And the third is text messages. What's the message of the moment? And what can you put in their inbox that would get them to respond and raise their hand saying, David, I would love to grow my business. The third action item is to create free content and to create free resources. And no, I'm not saying to absolutely be a free university or sell all of your education, but what I am saying right now is, are your ideal agents that you would love to see in your ecosystem, are they aware of what you can do? Do they know about all of the agents under your ecosystem that are winning bigger, better, faster, and more fun? If your marketing and your free content and free videos that you're putting out there, does it establish you as an authority in your market? The fourth solution and the fourth step that I would dig into is paid ads. And when you hear paid ads, you're probably thinking about Google, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. And that is not what I mean. I honestly think that if you're spending money to get exposure from paid advertisements to recruit agents, you're doing yourself a bit of a disservice if you're looking up to where to park your money. Because at the end of the day, if you're looking to get in somebody's cell phone, you already have their emails. You already have their phone numbers. You can pick up the phone, you can already text them, and you can send them emails. Why are you parking money on social media? If they're not going to respond to your text, why would they respond to your paid advertisement? No, when I'm talking about paid ads and where to park your money, what I'm really talking about right now is you guys right now have access to some of the best technology in the industry with Corded, for example. Like right now, I can literally pull up my cell phone, look at every agent across North America, and I can look at who's most vulnerable to move. Which agents are down 25 to 35%, if not more. Because we all know a lot of agents that were doing 10 million in volume last year are barely doing 3 this year. Right? We can look at what agents are more prone to making moves. The second is you guys can pay for authority. Right now, your board on a month-to-month and week-to-week basis are running massive events. Yes, your local MLS. What would it look like for you to do a free training or for you to run a free panel? What would that look like for you to collaborate with other lenders, title, insurance, other very influential people where you guys can create a win-win, whether you pay for it or whether you create some sort of other win-win where you get exposure and you're seen as an authority? Where your brokerage is going to win when it comes to recruitment, producing agents isn't coming from just, that prospect signing on the dotted line. Where recruitment is won and where recruitment is lost comes in from your leading indicators. It comes in from the amount of output and the violent action that you're going to be taking day after day to book appointments with producing agents. As you know, where focus goes, energy flows, and where energy flows, results follow. So where you should be putting your attention to and your energy to, it should be regarding booking appointments with producing agents. That's going to separate you between whether you decide to win or whether you decide, emphasis on decide, to lose this year in 2026. Nevertheless, like, comment, subscribe, and let's rock and roll.